Thanks for coming back, everyone. Thanks for watching. We've got a second Baja video with a unique but helpful twist for you guys. We met at Instant Mexico Auto Insurance again, right next to the border for the last US fuel stop and to make sure we all had proper coverage for the trip in Baja. Most of us use AAA just like last time, however. We're going to go through some notable off-road tips focusing on Baja, but mostly relevant for any big off-road adventure. The most important thing to do at the driver's meeting is to take everyone's equipment into account. Radios, maps, etc. All of these issues will continuously pop up throughout the video, as well as a cheap fix for catastrophic parts failure. So step one for Baja is get your insurance squared away. Last video we gave a AAA link for insurance as well as a location where we met that sells insurance to the Score race team. Fuel for gasoline and diesel will also come up later. You don't need a passport to return if you're a citizen, but you will be forced to a slower line if you don't have one, about twice the crossing time, so we recommend that you get one. Once we all air down in one single location to save time, we establish a trail order based on GPS and radios. Handhelds go in the middle and vehicles with mounted radios go in the lead and sweep to cut out cautions and to make sure everyone stays on course. Usually the vehicles in the lead and the sweep are the most experienced off-roaders, but this whole group is experienced, so we took turns switching off. The better the radios that a group has, the faster and safer you can run, because you can safely spread out to run fast and not eat each other's dust while calling out oncoming traffic and other road hazards. Also, be aware of the military checkpoints all over the dirt, highway, and beaches. They just want to check to make sure that you're not doing anything stupid. They were all cool with us, even the non-Spanish speaking vehicles had no problems. You can't avoid them and there's no reason to. Some guys even brought soccer balls and toys to give to the soldiers so they can take home to their family, just to thank them for doing their job and to make sure that future off-roaders are well received in the area. Lights and chase lights are nice, but not necessary. Not as necessary as you think. Great if you have them, because the nighttime can creep up as it did on the last video. But thanks to the radios again, you're going to be so spread out that the trail lights aren't that necessary either, because there's no vehicle behind you most of the time. And of course, if every vehicle has GPS, we all know where we're going. Just like in our first Baja video, all this drone footage is from Steven. He's an awesome drone pilot. But in case you guys are in the market for any drone accessories, I'll put a link to Drone World in the description. We just bought some fancy stuff for our Phantom 4 Pro. Give it a little bit extra horsepower and a little bit extended range. So whether you're in the market for accessories, new or used, check out their link. Other common equipment as far as extra coolant, transmission fluid, tow ropes, recovery ropes, chains, and handheld tools were not used on this trip, so we'll only be mentioning them here since we can't show you guys video of said tools in use. We should mention, however, that we would not leave home without them, as well as many spares as you can carry. I think one of the best Baja tips we can give you guys is to stay near the beaches. Most people don't know where to run, and we make a big deal about being on the Score race course or the Baja race course or whatever. It doesn't matter. Pick a year. No matter where you're at on the beach, no matter where you're out on these trails, chances are it's been one of the trails for any given year, because it changes every year. The Score race course just always changing. It's always adapting, looking for new challenges, and the course is always getting destroyed post-race. So you're not going to enjoy the full Baja experience. That's not what you come for. I actually think it's a waste of time structuring your vacation around the Score race course, because it just makes getting a room that much more complicated. That's where GPS comes in handy. We use lead nav. All the cool kids use the Lawrence system. It's amazing, very expensive, and very complex. It has more features than what any off-roader needs, stuff like fish finder stuff, sonar, all that crap. A lot of people that own them don't even understand them. Lead nav is a lot cheaper and just a premium app for Apple products. Whatever GPS system you use, look for trails up and down the coastline. Those trails with lead-ins going towards the hills and coming back down from the hills are some of the most awesome trails we've ever seen. Not only that, they're also some of the best views we've ever seen. So if you have passengers, kids, family, whatever, they're gonna enjoy that scenery. They all have great views and a lot of elevation changes, so sometimes you could see far down the trail and you could know when it's safe to run fast on beautiful trails. Just pick a hotel on the beach, sit down with your GPS, and make trails all around that area for a simple, safe Baja vacation. More later on why it's so beneficial to stay in these areas. Another tip, this one's a bit on the nose but worth mentioning. Bring an ice chest, just a small one that fits in the cab. You don't need the one in the back and it sucks pulling over to get anything. So just bring a small one for drinks and snacks, because finding good food without wasting valuable trail time can be hit or miss. We were fortunate enough to find the same taco spot as last time after a second attempt, but thankfully the tacos were still awesome. I'll explain it in a bit, but again, radios. Thanks to the radios, Spencer followed me back to town to get what I needed to fix the truck. The rest of the group was able to keep running and we kept in communication with them. The plan was to go into town, get what I needed to fix the zr2, and go to the hotel and fix it there. Also, another tip, in your tool bag, bring a sledgehammer.
It's a beat down.
All right, so quick explanation. I was trying to keep up with some fully built caged Bronco and trying to keep up with that Tacoma with the old man Emu suspension. And yeah, that thing's fucking awesome. We both almost killed our truck. I actually did. I cracked the oil pan. I'll get on it and show you guys. I fixed it already. I'll show you what I used. I'm not sure how much the camera will get, but JB Weld. I got a bunch of oil I was able to source here, and I was able to salvage the original oil. Saved it in a bucket with the bag. See all the oil spills all over the bed. I'll show you guys the damage underneath right now. Alright, so check it out, guys. Originally the oil was collecting there. It looked like it was seeping out of there, but what ended up happening is, I don't know if you guys can see it, this part, my whole axle, I don't know how much flex this has. This shouldn't be right, but whatever. I hit a bump trying to keep up with that 4-link full cage Bronco, and yeah, it was nasty. The axle cracked against, hit against my oil pan, and it cracked. That's all the JB Weld you guys are looking at. So my solution was we were able to source more oil. That was my backup plan. I got 3 gallons of the crap. I was just gonna keep topping it off just to get home. But obviously that's not a long-term solution. JB Weld isn't either. So I drained the oil, saved the oil. JB welded it last night, and in the morning I came and topped it all off to check, and it's not leaking, so it'll hold. Let's see how long for. But yeah, as of now, yeah, check out my skid plate. All right, back to Saturday. The best part about off-roading on the coast is that it runs along a major highway. So that major highway intersects through all the major cities, and the economy here is really dependent on off-roaders. So we were easily able to find any hardware store, auto parts store, and also, especially in your Chevy, they sell these trucks here. So you can easily source any parts. Gio actually sourced an oil pan for me in AutoZone in Mexico. When I got back to the States, my local Chevy dealer took a week to source it. So yeah, the off-road economy here is very strong. We're able to find JB Weld, sandpaper, and oil to clean the fluid and patch it up. I also bought extra JB Weld, and it's going to show its usefulness in a future video. The highway kind of runs parallel to the coast throughout the whole peninsula, so the rest of the group got to keep moving and stick to their plans of off-roading all the way to the hotel, while we were kind of running next to them a few miles separated, going through town looking for parts and looking for the hotel. The JB Weld takes 4 hours to set, so the plan was to get to the hotel, drain the oil, fix it, patch it up, and then just rest till morning. So again, emphasis on the importance of good radios and good navigation. Thanks to both of those, the rest of the group didn't skip a beat when I broke down. Spencer's the only one that took it for the team. He followed us back to town to make sure we were okay, make sure we didn't break down. So his day got cut in half just to help us out. So thanks a lot, man. You saved our ass. The main concern for most people planning their first trip out here or just coming out here seems to be gas stations. We don't know how easy it would be to find. We didn't know how easy it would be to find hotels. We didn't know anything. We were basically just trusting our off-road experience and relying on John. Him and Steven know this area pretty well because they record for the Score races. That's Steven right there. Again, this is his drone footage. He's always playing with the kids. John was giving out candy. That's another big thing. You got to keep the locals happy, and that will come around again later. But you got to imagine if you'd like all these off-road trucks just flying through your town making dust. Yeah, you got to keep the locals locals happy. So back to gas stations. We had no problem finding gas. Again, last time we brought a tank. We didn't need one this time. The diesel up in front right here, didn't have any problem finding diesel. I know in some of the comments, some of you guys were concerned about the diesel quality and DEF and all that. The truck's fine. Fill it up at home with the DEF, whatever, if your truck needs that system. But the diesel ran fine. This is his second trip out here. He had no problems. None of the gas vehicles had problems either. The guys fueled up here and then drove off to check into the hotel, and we met up with them later on that night. All right, so I topped her back off. She turned on like nothing, of course. It's just oil. So I'm gonna back her off the jacks, these homemade jacks. Yeah, we just rolled it up on blocks just to get under there better, just to work easier. I'm gonna roll her back and get an accurate oil level reading. Yeah, she lifts the fight again. Let's see how she does today. Gotta get the keys. If you're a Toyota fan, enjoy. The next part's basically going to play like a taco commercial for all you terrible taco people.
So get underneath there and look at the very center. There's a post.
Yeah, I see that post.
Is that badass? Look at it. That stops everything.
What's that for?
It's for protection. It stops anything from hitting your oil pan.
And it's on a cross member, huh?
It's like a catch on a rock too, though.
Yeah. Why is it so low? No, because the bow right here.
Just slide over and around it.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at your thing. She's all fucking beat in. This is like this already. Or?
No, yeah, that's all factory. I think I just got a little bit here.
Yeah.
If you look at what pin this is, I'm surprised it didn't like pierce through.
Yeah, I straightened mine out and put it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yours is good, man.
Yeah, the old man Ebu shocks her. They can withstand anything. You know, it's roughly the same as what you guys got. I know the Chevys sit like a couple inches.
Yeah, they're nose heavy.
Front, just a little.
You got more clearance.
Really level.
You got more clearance than me, don't you?
I would say an inch or two. But you can't really, a lot of times it won't make that big a difference.
Fucking taco. No, but besides you being a good driver, yeah, I couldn't keep up with this on the nasty parts. On the high speeds, I can keep up with you. But on ropes or rollers, I can't keep up with this.
It's too light for super high speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an intake exhaust. I got a tune. The AFE cold air intake does pretty good.
But that's just for driving pleasure.
Get to 5,000, that motor. This V6 has got VVTi, so it just goes.
So quick recap, Saturday I was trying to catch that Bronco. I know that was a fool's errand now, but while doing so, Steven passed me out of nowhere on the worst, rockiest part of the course. Because of the speeds that we were going, our egos basically had us rock racing one another. Somewhere along that course, I bottomed out and cracked my oil pan. Turns out my oil pan had a bunch of stress fractures from flexing. I'm blaming it on the Pismo jump, and then the next little nothing bump did her in. So for high speed stuff, the ZR2 gets to chill with the Raptors, but for punishing trail abuse, I gotta give the win to the old man Emu taco setup. So for now, I officially hate orange tacos. Most off-roaders enjoy this. There's a bunch of sightseeing to do here. There's volcanoes, there's landmarks, there's historic race spots. Everyone's always getting over, taking pictures. I usually hate it. I just see it as a waste of trail time, whatever. But I use the opportunities every chance to check under the trucks. He was leaking oil. The JB Weld was holding awesome. There was no problems, no leaks anywhere. I was confident to keep running off-road hard. I wasn't in lip mode. The truck kept going. Now, since this is an equipment video, these aren't necessary here. We got hooked up with a steep discount on racing helmets. So I'm going to pass it on to you guys. Not just these impact helmets, anything, gloves, suits, any type of race safety equipment you guys want. Davey Hamilton Jr., he can hook you guys up as well. We paid through the phone, everything. It was awesome. Got shipping much faster than normal. So hit him up if you guys are in the market for any safety equipment. He also has a YouTube channel, so I'll put a link for that in the description as well. No, it's pretty sketchy. You could position that jack better.
Yeah. Hey, it wasn't from doing those fish tails, was it? There you go.
Yeah, that could shift. No, it is. It's on one.
It's on one, right?
Yeah, here I got it.
No, it's on one.
I'm gonna let it down.
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead, slow.
Just take it off. Another essential piece of equipment is a good off-road jack. The stock jacks that come with the trucks are no good for uneven terrain. They're very dangerous. They're always unbalanced, and they fall a lot, as you guys saw in our Pismo video if you guys have been watching that long. Also, I believe this is the first of 2 tire changes for this vehicle, so take as many spares as you can.
Stevens. There we go.
Steven!
Oh shit, sorry. Oh, I hit your elbow.
Steven, go and fly up that road here and see if
No, you're not going that way. No, you can't drive up there.
Yeah, we can.
No way. I'm thinking of, dude, the shortcut where it's total rutted out, you're not going through it.
That should work.
Yeah, that should work.
Awesome.
Take it off now.
Drive it up.
How's it look?
So you want to take back over?
Oh, well,
no, I
you do shit.
No, I'll do it.
I got you, man.
I'll be the asshole recording people.
I got you on Jack.
Yeah, no.
I got you on Jack, dude.
Oh yeah.
Another vital piece of equipment is an impact driver. These trucks, they're all protected by skid plates on the bottom. So anytime you need to do anything to them, tires, anything mechanical, you're gonna be taking off skid plates, lug nuts, everything. So be sure and save up for a good impact driver. Also, another off-roading tip, whether you're on BLM land or in Baja, it kind of doesn't matter. A lot of the stuff where you go off-roading, there's private properties close by. And in Baja, a lot of off-road groups are having a hard time planning runs because ranchers are closing their gates. They're fencing off stuff, they're closing roads, and it's because of off-roaders getting too crazy. We brought it up in the driver's meeting to be respectful when you see houses, when you see ranches, slow it down, don't dust them. We actually found a spot with a cool mud runoff that turned out to just be a bunch of watered down cow shit. You'll see it in a bit. We drove through it hard, we got it on video. It's a huge no-no. We could have pissed off a lot of ranchers. Nobody said anything and we got it on video, so enjoy it. But yeah, it's a no-no and we don't recommend you guys doing it. Also, you don't want to drive this hard that far from home because if you break down, and of course because you want to be welcomed back here.
No way!
So thanks for watching, everyone. Please subscribe and like, but even more so, please share this video if you know anyone that's planning a big trip or wants to plan a big Baja trip. Also, I used to hate the idea of onboard radios just to keep the cabin clean, so please share this with anyone that had the same dumb opinion as I did. The radios and maps really saved the trip this time. Also, if any of you can think of anything I left out that your experiences prove necessary, please let us know in the comments. Please help each other out. I'd rather the comments turn into more of an off-road forum. We're gonna put links in the description to all the drivers, all the vehicles, so you guys can follow them, so you guys can ask them questions, anything you need to know. They're all accommodating, they're all awesome people. And again, if you guys need any drones, any drone equipment, hit up Drone World. All the drone footage was from them. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram in case you want to watch any sneak peeks about upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope this helps you guys on any upcoming trips. And just in case any of you guys doubt JB Well, this is a shot of the truck at home the day after in the garage, not a single drop.